Welcome back to the Elite Transformation Podcast. Today we are covering 5 must-do tips, including training and nutrition to get ahead for January. How are you doing today, Rich?
Very good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Peak of the week?
Peak of the week.
Give me a recovery.
Well, you know I've started playing piano.
I do, yeah. It's basically sat next to Mozart.
And my number one song goal was Dance Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the hang of it. So it's starting to sound like a song.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It's recognisable.
Yeah. I'm really happy. So peak of the week, I've got the first 10 seconds down.
Nice, good job. I love that.
What about you?
Christmas lights are everywhere.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I love all the lights.
What does it bring you? Why?
I just love witnessing it. And we drove past one of the big houses near where we live, and all the beautiful trees were lit up, and they look kind of Halloweeny and creepy and skeletal-y because they've got no leaves on them. And I just think there's something mystical and magical about that, and I love a warm light.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
magical, pretty, twinkly,
warming. Yeah, all of those words. So I really enjoy that experience of driving or walking past and looking at all the Christmas lights.
It's nice to take something in when it's dark, cold, and we generally all kind of think it's miserable, but there's some magic there.
Yeah, I like that. So it's that time of year again, isn't it? Where it's excitement and ambition. We're picturing ourselves in January. Mm-hmm. But let's face it, without a solid plan,
yes,
it's really easy to lose steam. I think that's something that we are working with and wanting to dial up the lack of steam, or we want to fire you up.
We don't want your January training, your approach to your fitness regime to last 4 to 6 weeks like most people's does in January, because you have this monumental effort. And if you're not placing your efforts in the right area, you're not going to get much in return. So you're investing all your time, your effort, and your money into this change. But if you're not getting anything out of it, it's not going to last long. No. So that's what we're here to teach you: where to put your efforts to get the maximum result back.
Yes. So we're going to share with you 5 actionable tips today that will keep you going from January and beyond. So that's our hope. So auditing your routine is one of your actionable points. What do you mean by this?
I want you to audit your routine. I want you to track what you're doing. If we don't take notes, if we don't log what you're lifting, how much distance you're covering, all the different data points of your training, you're never going to know how much you've increased by. Now that, knowing how much you've increased, your progression is hugely motivating. Mm-hmm. If it's just a stab in the dark, we're never going to get anywhere. So something which I see people do wrong very commonly, all day, every day, is they don't have this set schedule. People do a bit of this and a bit of that. They kind of chop and change, which, great, you might enjoy it, but if you want to get results, we have to keep some form of consistency throughout your training plan. So certain exercises need to remain the same so that we can build upon them, progress, lift a little bit more, lift a few more reps. Squeeze down the rest periods, and that's a big thing actually in itself, just actually measuring your rest periods rather than guessing it or going through like a whole TikTok video or an email. That's not how you measure a rest period. Stick to 45 seconds to a minute tops. But I want you to audit your routine, take notes, track it, because then we have something to build and progress on.
Yeah, that's fab. Great advice.
Thank you.
So let's talk about food in January. We know it's this kind of time of year where there's some buzz around changing dramatically diets or eating clean or going on a diet and all of that kind of stuff. Everyone loves food, and then all of a sudden we're like, no, we're going to change and make it this very massive lifestyle change. So tell me a little bit about your views on nutrition and entering this time of the year and what you would advise.
So we have this all or nothing approach, which we covered in the previous episode for the mindset shifts. So we have even just the whole new year, new me That is a black and white thinking. And then we have dry January. Again, we go complete abolishment of alcohol. That's black and white thinking. Throwing out all the Christmas chocs, etc., etc. We have so much of this going on. So just to remember that and try not to do that is really key for me, for both of us, in both our approaches. But what I would say is planning your meals would be hugely helpful.
Yeah.
So enjoy your food still. Get a diverse colour array in your fruits, in your vegetables. So lots of dark things, dark purple sprouting broccoli, cabbage, dark onions, different coloured peppers, different dark greens. So trying to get as much variety of colour in there as possible is really important, and having a rough idea of what we're going to be eating throughout the week. So being organised is really key. Having that idea, doing a weekly shop, really helpful. Yeah. If we can have just a few things up our sleeves of really quick meals.
Yeah, I think options. And then even if I think that's there's lots of information there. Even if we just started, again, if we're starting small with a new habit, it would be, okay, maybe make meal prep a meal. So again, you've got 7, 5, I don't know if you're making for partners or whatever, but you've got sort of at least one meal that that's going to hit X amount of protein and all of the other micronutrients in there, and start with one meal. If sort of prepping your entire week is overwhelming, I would just dial that down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Personally,
I often make a big batch of soup.
Yes, you do.
And I've actually figured out I can freeze it into bricks.
We have soup bricks at home.
Little takeaway tin or Tupperware, soup in, freeze, and then take it out, gently warm it up in the oven, and then dinner sorted.
Yeah, nice.
So super convenient.
Super convenient.
I can't believe you got that. That was so quick.
So another one I think that's super important, tip number 3. You were doing this the other day, I forgot to do it.
Yeah.
As the host.
A bash.
Yeah. A bosh, number 3. Let's talk about setting achievable fitness movement goals. I think that's super important as well. We wake up on the 1st of January and we're like, I'm going to run 10k.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, I was going to say, or Rich wakes up thinking he's 29 when he's 27 and goes, I'm going to run a marathon.
Yeah, the true story. Yeah, we'll talk about that another day. I got really confused with my age by several years and panicked.
Panicked, and then woke up and decided that he was going to run a marathon. So again, a lot of the stuff that we're working through is very much on lived experience in terms of setting achievable goals.
I hurt my knee doing that, so I suggest everyone sets realistic expectations, which we'll go into now, so you don't hurt your body.
So that's what we're looking at. Tell me about achievable movement goals, Rich.
We're really trying to avoid setting yourself up for failure, so we're trying to set you up for success. So yes, be ambitious, but break it down into
bite-sized segments.
Bite-sized chunks, whenever you hit these goals, it's going to be super rewarding.
And celebrating. It's really important to celebrate.
And that's only going to boost the motivation and the desire and the drive to do it, to get all these great feelings back after achieving them. So rather than let's use 10k as the example. Right, January 1st, I'm going to run 10k. Chill out. Let's run 1k. Give it a few days, and then try and run 1.5k.
Yeah.
By the end of the month, try to be at like a 5k, and then just nudge that a little bit forward. Like maybe by end of February, we'll be at 10k.
Yeah.
So we have to consider injury in the body. If we're going from 0 to flat out, yes, your mind might be strong enough to do it, but your body might not be strong enough. So we have to consider
what level of fitness you're starting with. It's really important to kind of assess where you are. And if you're not necessarily into daily movement and then making that decision to run a 10k, it's the slow build up. You've got to start that. And anybody that again has either gone back into the gym after a period of time off, or is starting the gym, and if you are, well done and congratulations. But the experience of DOMs can really put you off. So if you train really hard and you haven't moved your body for a period of time, it gives you DOMS, and then that can also really turn you off going back to gym because you're like, I can't move and I can't do like my normal things, run up and down the stairs or whatever your general daily exercise is, and you've had it at the gym, and then all of a sudden you're like, I can't move, and it's not an enjoyable experience. So we want to, again, when we're training and we're setting up for success, we want to be able to allow our bodies to adapt into a new routine, and that's again by slowly titrating the exercise
and by doing that we gain this consistency then. So by running, by juicing your ambitious goal into smaller achievable chunks, we then achieve it consistently, which is key, and that then multiplied over the year, that's where we get slow but solid progress.
Consistency beats intensity every time.
Yeah, and actually, it doesn't actually have to be slow. Slow was the wrong word. It's consistent, and then quite quickly, it's like, oh damn, I've achieved quite a lot, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's consistency.
Yeah. Actionable tip number 4: factoring in recovery.
You touched on this a moment ago with DOMS. DOMS is an acronym: delayed onset muscle soreness. We want to be getting enough rest and recovery in there. So, for example, like we just used, we want to allow the stress in the body to dissipate before we then start moving again.
Yeah.
We don't want to be in such pain that we can't sit in the toilet, run up the stairs. Having enough sleep to make this training process enjoyable is key.
Yeah.
That's going to lead into the consistency.
Yeah.
So recover, factor in some downtime. Factor in your sleep as well, so we want to be getting 7 to 8 hours sleep. That might be a New Year's goal for you as well, not just training and changing your eating and your mindset, but actually looking after yourself by allowing yourself to sleep a little bit more.
Yeah, and the body needs time and rest to recover, so it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So we look at, again, that rest period as just as important as the training. That's super important. I think it gets overlooked. As a, and the same point, sleep overlooked. So it's a necessity, it's not a luxury.
When we have these factors of, I'm going to increase the amount of exercise I'm doing, that's increasing the stress on my body. What we need to do is then increase the nutrients going into the body.
Yeah.
And increase the amount of rest and recovery to tolerate the added pressure.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Tip number 5. We're talking about prepping the environment. I think the significance of a community and people in this situation, when we're looking at adaptation in terms of changing your fitness routine, I think the people in the community is super important.
100%. To surround yourself with people who are positive, motivating, encouraging, willing to join in as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Is really, really key. And training with a partner, training with a PT, training with a person, training with a friend.
Yeah.
Always is better than training solo.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be some days where you're not really feeling it.
Yeah.
But your training partner will be feeling it, and they'll help pull you through. So you will end up doing something on that day where if you were on your own, you might not.
No, exactly that.
So the environment, having the right people around you is really key.
Yeah.
And then also, we touched on it earlier, but organisation. So organisation with your food on the weekend, but for training, block the time out in your diary.
Yeah, put it in as an actual...
A meeting, an
event.
An appointment.
Yeah, and prioritise it so it's not the thing that gets dropped. Ideally, it's not the thing that gets dropped. It's as important as other things in your schedule. Sometimes that's not realistic, and again, we're looking at lifestyle, but the 80-20 rule of 80% we're taking it at that level of priority.
Yeah. Pop it in the diary. Make an appointment.
Yeah.
Stick to it
with yourself and your accountability buddy. To recap, our 5 achievable points are: audit your routine.
Yes.
Plan your nutrition.
Yes.
Set achievable goals.
Yeah. Recovery.
Yeah.
Get enough recovery in there.
Nice.
Prioritise that. 5, your environment. Surround yourself with positive people.
Cheerleaders. People that bring the vibe.
Yeah.
People that are going to cheer you on, even if it's not in person. So even if it's somebody that's on WhatsApp that's like, come on, you can do this. See you in an hour.
Yeah. Accountability.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. We are edging closer to launching Elite Transformations Lite, and it's your opportunity to work with us. So head over to our website, sign up, and we can't wait to work with you.
See ya.